Supervisor Rodriguez, one seat up.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Move on to roll call of supervisors, please.
We'll be doing a vocal roll call, so I'll call up your name and just say here. Grady? Aye. Rose? Aye. Gentz? Here. Gable? Aye. Celebrity? Here. Kubicki? Aye. Hallman? Present. Rodriguez? Here. O'Day? Here. Berg? Here. Ron Frederick? Here. Nudo? Here. Franco? Here. Boyd Frederick? Here. Retzloff? Here. Esposito? Here. Wamble? Here. Uhas? Here. Skalitsky? Here. Poole? Here. Nordigan? Here. Decker? Here. Elverman? Here. All present.
Okay, thank you. Moving on now, we will have the oaths of office.
In front of you, you each have an oath of office, and you also have your certificate of election. The certificate of election you can keep tonight. The oath of office, after we do the oath of office, I'd like you all to sign it and return it back to me so we can make copies for your records, and then I'll return them to you at the next meeting. So if you'd all like to stand. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, your name, have been duly elected to the office of County Board Supervisor, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof. Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of the said office to the best of my ability. You're all sworn in. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you. Right now, we're going to have a nomination for a temporary chairperson, seeing as that Chairwoman Bruning did not run for re-election. So at this time, we have a nomination for a temporary chair. Supervisor Frederick?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Ed Kubicki to serve as temporary chair so that we can elect a chairman.
Second.
It's been nominated and seconded. Any discussion? Seconded by Supervisor O'Day. No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes, and Supervisor Kubicki will take the chair.
Thank you. Good evening. I'll be seeking nominations for chairperson. Supervisor Rose, you have the floor.
I would like to place in nomination the name of Dan Esposito.
Is there a second? Second. Been seconded. Supervisor Rose, continue.
Thank you. Supervisor Esposito has been a member of the County Board of Supervisors for 8 years. He is a practicing chiropractor in the city for over 20 years, having graduated from the University of Wisconsin Parkside as well as the Palmer School of Chiropractic in the state of Iowa. He has lived here all of his life. He's attended our local schools. He is married and has 2 children. He's been very active in the healthcare community and brings that expertise on many issues to this board. He has served this board as vice chair, as a member of the Finance Committee, and as a member of the Judiciary and Law Committee, as he has served as chair of that committee as well. I believe that he is fully qualified to lead this board with a good temperament, intelligence, and foresight. And for that reason, I heartily endorse his nomination this evening and urge your support of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Rose. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations?
I move to close nominations.
Nominations have been closed, been seconded by Mike Gable. We'll move on to a roll call vote since there is no other nominations for chair. All those in favor of Supervisor Esposito, your next county board chair, vote aye. Aye. All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'll be brief. I just want to say a few words. I'm honored and humbled to be sitting here in this position. As the outgoing chairwoman said, this isn't easy, and it takes special people to do these things, and we have a special conglomerate of supervisors here that have done great things since I've been on the board. But to start, I just want to thank a few people. I want to thank my mother and father who are here tonight for their guidance over the years, their hard work and support and their work ethic to show their kids always being there for us. I really want to appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. I want to thank my wonderful wife, Donna, my two kids, Haley and Ethan, for their constant support. As the outgoing chairwoman had stated, this takes time away to do things, and family's important, and when they stand behind you through this journey that we all are on, it definitely makes it easier for us, and maybe not so easy for them at times, but as we know, it all washes out in the end. Kenosha County is expanding by leaps and bounds. We definitely need to be prepared for these changes that are here and now and coming to the future. I do not want to forget the tough problems we face right now in regards to opioid and heroin addiction, as well as mental health. These are real problems, and we've done a good job to date in tackling these issues. I do believe that we are pioneers and leaders in county government, and I would like to continue doing that. And furthermore, it's extremely important to move Kenosha County forward. I believe it's extremely responsible to be fiscally and financially responsible to the taxpayers that have elected us to be here today. With that being said, my main goals are for us to become a AAA county, for us to move forward. I want to make it clear that I always be available to discuss any issues that any supervisor may have in order to work in the best interest of our constituents and Kenosha County. Thank you. And moving on, we are going to have the nominations of vice chairperson. It's come to my attention that there may be more than one candidate, so I want Corporation Counsel to speak to this issue. We've never seemed to have this happen before, so if he could just give the supervisor some insight on how this may work. Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I can't say definitively because I certainly haven't gone back through history, but certainly in the review that I've done, I don't think that I've seen an instance where there's been more than two candidates for the position of vice chair. The county board rules do not specify the procedure or how a situation like this would be addressed, nor do the statutes, which simply indicate that the board shall elect one of its members chair. In the absence of those, as you know, and as I've said before, we turn to Robert's Rules, as our rules indicate we are to do. Robert's Rules makes it very clear that when you have multiple candidates, in the absence of some other bylaw to the contrary, that you do not drop anyone off of the ballot. You keep voting until a nominee secures a majority of the votes. Not a plurality, but a majority. So with that, it is my understanding that the expectation is that we would continue to vote until a candidate received 12 votes.
Okay. Any supervisors have any questions with that? With that, I will, Supervisor Rolls, you have the floor.
Thank you. I would place in nomination the name of Jeff Gantz.
There is a first and a second. Supervisor Rolls?
Thank you. Supervisor Gantz has served this board and this community since 2008, having been elected most recently to his 6th term. He has served the board as chair in 2012 to 2014. However, he has never held the position that I nominate him for this evening, and that is of vice chair. He has been a member of the Finance Committee since 2009, and he always participates with very active contributions to that committee. In addition to serving this board, he's been a member of the City Council in the past from 1992 to 1998, and he also served as Finance Committee member while serving on that City Council. He is a lifelong resident of Kenosha, very active member of this board at our meetings as well as our Finance Committee. I heartily endorse his nomination this evening and urge your support of him. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Rolls. Supervisor Grady, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to enter into nomination the gentleman sitting on my right for that of Vice Chair John O'Day.
Is there a second? Second. Supervisor Grady?
Thank you. John O'Day, who sits here next to me, has been on this county board since 1996, and if I can do the math correctly, that's 22 years. I would think that's probably the longest-serving member in this room. I can be corrected on that. When you look at the list of accomplishments before you, they are quite substantial. Starting from the beginning, John, born and raised in Kenosha. If you look at the bottom of the sheet here, it says outside interests. I find that quite interesting. He served in the military, served in the armed services, U.S. Army from 1963 to 66. More currently, of course, he's a member of the Public Works Committee, chairman of the Human Services Board, and has been so for 12 years. Also has a remarkable understanding of the inner workings of Brookside Care Facility as it currently exists and as it's been in its previous incarnations. If you look at some of the other highlights, not only has he chaired Human Services, but he's also chaired the Finance Committee. So with that type of background, I feel quite confident in endorsing John O'Day for Vice Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Grady. Supervisor Kuliski, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to enter into nomination for Vice Chairman Gabe Nudo.
Is there a second? There is a second. Supervisor Kuliski, you have the floor.
It's my pleasure to nominate Gabe Nudo for the position of County Board Vice Chair. This is Gabe's 4th term on the County Board, and he has a proven track record of working with everyone in a nonpartisan manner to achieve the best outcomes for the citizens of Kenosha County. Gabe has served on Human Services, Plan Development, Education Extension, and Public Works Committees. He is currently serving on the Brookside Board of Trustees as a citizen appointee and previously as a County Board Supervisor appointee. With over 50 years of residency in Kenosha, Gabe is an engaged citizen, a thoughtful husband and father with a proven track record, and I ask you to join me in supporting Gabe Nudo for Vice Chairman position.
Thank you, Supervisor Kuliski. Any other nominations of any candidates at this time? Any other nominations? Doesn't seem to be. With that being said, it seems like we have 3 candidates. I think the clerk is going to...
They have them on their desk.
The ballots, what we'll do is, this will be the time to vote for the vice chairman, so if you would vote, the clerk will come around and collect them.
I was looking for Dan's. Oh, he's got it in front of him.
I don't want to be last.
No, mine's good. Nudo. Gents. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. Gents. Nudo. O'Day. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. O'Day. Gents. 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 O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. Gents. Nudo. And O'Day. 057. Just write numbers down. 8 and 8. There's 7 for Gents, 8 for O'Day, and 8 for Nudo.
Okay.
So we'll pass them out again.
At this time, the clerk will pass out the ballots again for a second vote on vice chair.
You just got done explaining them.
We just got done explaining, it would be all 3 candidates, unless a supervisor wants to unanimously drop out of the candidacy. All 3 would be voted on again. What's that? I like the way you think.
No, wait till we get yours. I'm just going to put these up on your desk. When you're ready. Round 2. O'Day. 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 Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. 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 Nudo. Gents. Gents. O'Day. Gents. Nudo. Gents. O'Day. Gents. O'Day. Nudo. And Nudo. So we have 5 for Gens, 10 for O'Day, and 8 for Nudo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Round 3, clerk will pass out the ballots. Unless any supervisor at this point wants to drop out of their candidacy. Okay. Clerk will be around to pass out the ballots.
They don't want you to be comfortable in that seat.
It's a bunch of springs. I don't think I'm a big guy, you know?
No, when I sat in there, believe me, it's pretty good. Turns out like so it's a disco white shirt on the right.
Oh, that's right.
Saturday Night Live. You got ballots up here, Clark?
There, we need 2 ballots up here. Thank you.
Are you a registered voter? Got the ads in there too. Okay. All right, round 3. O'Day. Gens. O'Day. O'Day. Nudo. Gens. O'Day. 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 Nudo. 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 Gentz? Nudo? O'Day? Nudo? Gentz? O'Day? Gentz? And O'Day. Same? Same as before, 5 for Gentz, 10 for O'Day, and 8 for Nudo.
Thank you, Clerk. At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll come back with another vote.
Do some stump speeches.
All right, thank you.
Let them do some stump speeches. How many more do we need?
vote?
Arts might be closed by the time we're done.
No, the city.
All right, ready for round 4. Nudo. Nudo. Just because I picked up one side of the room before the other, I figured I'd just do it that way. O'Day. O'Day. Nudo. Gentz. O'Day. Gentz. O'Day. Nudo. Gentz. Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. 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 Gentz. Gentz. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. And Nudo. Still the same.
Again, I'll ask the question if any supervisor that is running for the candidacy of vice chairman would like to drop off at this time. If not, clerk, send the votes out. One more time, please.
Going in the liquor now.
So what was the last hand?
It's been 5, 10, and 8 for the, he lost 2, and he, 2 of them went over there.
Okay.
From the Simpsons.
So if it comes back the same, I'm gonna... Thank you. Supervisor Holman, you had a comment?
Through the chair to the Corporation Council, I'm going to ask this, and I might need you to do other things because my county supervisors are not going to like me very much. There is a procedure now in Robert's Rules for reopening nominations and submitting other names.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, again, I'm going to ask any supervisor if they want to reconsider their candidacy of vice chairman at this time. If not, clerk, please send out the ballots one more time.
Round 6. O'Day. Nudo. Gentz. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. Gentz. Gentz. O'Day. O'Day. Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. O'Day. O'Nudo. O'Nudo, sorry. Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. Gentz. Gents. O'Day. Five for Gents, 10 for O'Day, and 8 for Nudo.
Let me see the results.
Keep going.
Yeah, it seems like, send out the ballots again, please, clerk.
Mr. Chair, at this time, I'll withdraw, since I have to get home to watch this on game tape. I mean, we're going to be here doing this all night.
It seems that way. I do have a withdrawn from Supervisor Gents at this time, so thank you. Right now, we'll be balloting for Supervisor John O'Day or Supervisor Gabe Needle at this time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. A lot of miles in today.
That's a writing candidate.
My tallies.
Did I take your pen?
No, my tallies.
Sorry, thank you.
Round 7. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. 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 Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. Nudo. O'Day. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. Nudo. O'Day. 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 Nudo. O'Day. And O'Day. What was the total then? 14.
Congratulations, Johnson. What was the tally on that?
14 to 9. I knew that was going to happen.
Congratulations, Supervisor O'Day.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on, clerk.
County Executive Appointments. James Schmidt to serve on the Kenosha County Veterans Service Commission.
Refer to Human Services.
Sharon Acerbi to serve on the Kenosha County Library System Board.
Refer to Finance Administration Committee.
George Gregory to serve on the Kenosha County Library System Board.
Refer to Finance Administration Committee, please.
Communications from Andy Ambula regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file.
Claims, Jennifer Nardini, vehicle damage.
Refer to Corporation Council.
Just a reminder that there's a meeting on Thursday at 7 PM.
And will be the chairman's.
Oh, the chairman will also be having his reception that evening following the meeting. We'll send out a invitation formally tomorrow, so plan on attending and get to know your supervisors. County executive is also having his swearing in at 4 PM on Thursday, or Thursday afternoon at the courthouse, so it'll be a busy day.
Thank you. I have motion adjourned. First by Supervisor Decker, second by Supervisor Grady. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good work. See you over there.
Yeah.